I first went to on Parikram, I remember Srila Gurudev, he used to really particularly shower affection on my ex-wife because she would go on Parikram and she would come back with lots of dust and muck all over her. She did the Parikram with a band, and I was more kind of looking for the nearest palanquin to carry me around. But she was like really like proper Australian girl, straight in there. And I think that had our next speaker, Yasodhari, had she been on Parakrams with Gurudev, I think Gurudev would have the same affection for her because she throws herself with abandon into all of her seva. I don't need to make much of an introduction because, of course, you all know her really well, but I'm going to say a few words. She so dearly loves Srila Gurudev, and she first came to the devotees and ultimately got blessings and initiation from Srila Gurudev via her brother Satyaraj, who's a really great devotee who glorified Gurudev a few weeks ago. And she showed such a lot of affection and faith in Srila Gurudev, and a lot of it in separation because she never actually physically met Srila Gurudev, which I'm sure will be part of her story when she glorifies him. But I just want to thank Yasodhari for being my friend, my co-sevak, and an example of enthusiasm personified. So Yasodhari, good luck from India. Hopefully you're back next week in Blighty. Please share us your glorification. Haribol.
Thank you. Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakya Chakshurumilitam Yana Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Radhikaye Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayaniti Namine. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine. Mancha Kalpatarupesha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. First of all, I'd like to offer my humble obeisances at the lotus feet of my Guru Padma Nitya Leela Pravishta Om Vishnupada Stotra Sata Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj. At the same time, offer my humble obeisances at the lotus feet of Nitya Leela Pravishta Om Vishnupada Stotra Sata Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj. At Nitya Leela Pravishta Om Vishnupada Stotra Sata Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj and the entire Rupanaga Guru Varga, the Sannyas Vrindas, all the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, and all of the devotees that serve my Srila Gurudev. I'd like to pay my humble obeisances. So by unfortunate circumstances, you're having to hear something from me. I thought I would be able to get away with not speaking at all throughout this Zoom program at all, because I don't feel qualified, and I'm sure that everyone's saying this, but I really don't feel qualified to glorify Srila Gurudev. But since it was my material birthday yesterday, and Gurudev used to say that we should celebrate our birthdays by glorifying and doing Vyas Puja of Sri Guru. So this is I was just thinking yesterday actually, that I did Parikram, but I wasn't able to do no Vyas Puja of physical Arti of Srila Gurudev because of the timings, etc. So I was thinking how unfortunate I am that I wasn't able to do this for you, Srila Gurudev, even being in the Dham. So anyhow, somehow or another, Srila Gurudev arranged that I did my Vyas Puja through speaking about his glory. So here I am. He's arranged that I say a couple of words. So like Yashodhara Prabhu said, I met my brother Shriman Satyaraj Prabhu met with Srila Gurudev disciples in 2008. Had the association. Satyaraj Prabhu came back and was speaking to my little sister Ranai and saying, "You must meet Srila Gurudev." And for me, we were demigod worshippers, had You know, we had one temple, like Ramananda Prabhu's mum, you know, she had a Durga temple. We also have that in my home. If you ever come to visit, you'll see that is there also. So I had no faith or no real understanding of Krishna. I always had this idea. I grew up with demigod worship, so I had no other understanding. Anyways, my brother got into Krishna consciousness really much. He started to read the Krishna book to us of Srila Prabhupada, then met with Srila Gurudev for the first time and said, oh, you have to meet Srila Gurudev. But he said, before you go and meet Srila Gurudev, you should ask the Vaishnavas for mercy. And through the Vaishnavas, you will be able to meet Srila Gurudev. But pray to them sincerely. So I thought, okay, why not? Let's give this a shot. The Ganga Matas were at not the current location, actually not the current location, the previous location, but the previous location before that, which is 108 in Plaster, because they're now in Skegness, they're not in London anymore. So that's when I first met them. So I went to 108 and I heard that Srimati Uma Didi was coming. So I was like, okay, I will go and visit her to pray my pranams. So I go in casual, like roughed up jeans that I've got like cuts in them, and casual top. And I had no idea of etiquette or anything, actually. I just thought, okay, let me just go and speak. So I went into knock on 108 door in Plaistow, and someone invited me in. And Uma Didi was sitting in the temple room at that point. And so I think it was Sudeva Didi actually, she was like, oh, this is a new disciple. She's a new person that's come to Krishna consciousness. You know, she wants to speak to you. And Uma Didi, being so merciful as she is, spoke to me, asked me about my life and etc., what I was doing. She also asked me if I was poor because I had ripped jeans. And I said, no, it's just fashion. She said that you Westerners have a really bad fashion and you wear ripped clothes. So that was the first kind of introduction I had of Uma Didi. And then all of a sudden, I started crying. I sat in front of Uma Didi and I said, sorry, it's just bringing back a lot of memories, so if I start crying, please forgive me. I sat in front of Uma Didi and said, all I want to do is meet Srila Gurudev. That's all I had planned to do, and that's all I wanted at that very moment, actually. That's all I wanted, was to meet Srila Gurudev, because there was something about my brother's words that resided in me. There was a picture of Srila Gurudev that I saw, and I was like, this is my Guru. And so I really, really wanted to meet Srila Gurudev. So she laughed and she said, in a very loving way, she said, don't worry, you'll meet him. So I said, okay. And then I went off my way. The thing with me when I was going to the temple is that I would I would come, give flowers, give chocolates, and then run away. I would never stay for anything. No programs, no kirtan, nothing. And then the following week, Srimati Shamarani Didi was coming to the temple. So again, I thought, okay, why not? You know, I'm home for university for a little bit, so let me come and meet with Shamarani Didi and ask for the same. Since she's painted so many pictures for Srila Prabhupada, why not to go and see her also? So I also went to Srimati Shamarani Didi. But this time was different. I knocked on the door and someone opened the door and they welcomed me in. And Shamarani Didi comes through the corridor, around from the temple room into the corridor, and says, oh, you're here for initiation. And I said, no, I am not here for initiation at all. And she goes, I said, I think you've got me mistaken for somebody else. And she said, no, you're here for initiation. You're here for initiation. And I don't know what it was. I had no money. I had no offering or anything like that. And she was so adamant that it was me that she was waiting for. And she promised, I just heard this about a couple of years ago, that she promised Srila Gurudev that she would have 10 disciples ready for them to be initiated. So I was the 10th. I was the last person. They were waiting for me, or Srila Gurudev was waiting for me anyways. So next thing I know, someone's preparing a offering plate for me. I have no clue what's going on. This is like crazy. The idea of Krishna consciousness was bizarre. Seeing Hare Krishnas on the streets, I would walk the opposite direction because I was embarrassed. I have no clue why I was embarrassed. I wasn't even associated with them at that point, so I just walked away. And all of a sudden, someone's putting tilak on my head. Someone's offering me, offering a offering plate to offer to Srila Gurudev, and someone gave me their chadar to cover myself. And I decided to sit right at the back of the temple room, which was quite far, and the other disciples were sitting closer. I was shy, and I was also embarrassed of the amount of, what if this person really does know my heart? Then I don't know what I'll do. What if he calls me out for all of the bad things that I've done? Anyways, next thing you know, the laptop goes up, and on the wall there's a projector that's set up to see an enlarged version of Srila Gurudev. This is September 2010. At this point, Srila Gurudev is not well. He's going into his last pastimes. And at this point, Srila Gurudev's got a food tube in his nose. He's lying on a bed in Delhi. And they open the laptop, and Mother Maharaj on the other, Shripad Mother Maharaj on the other side is going, hello, hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? As we know. And Srimati Shamarandit is replying back saying, yes, yes, we can hear you, we can hear you. Then everyone else disappears. And it's just now me and Srila Gurudev. I was shocked that how someone looked like he was in so much pain, but yet looked like he was in no pain whatsoever. He didn't look disturbed at all. He looked so peaceful. And so many devotees are going in front of Srila Gurudev getting the initiation. And I'm sitting at the back and I'm too scared to go to the front. But somehow or another, someone by force pushes me right to the front of the camera where me and Srila Gurudev meet. Everyone disappears. And it's just me and Srila Gurudev. And he just gave me one instruction. He said the rest will be told later on. And he said, just repeat after me. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And normally I've heard that you get repeated the mantra 3 times, but Srila Gurudev only repeated it once because of his health. And in that moment, it was like the whole world had disappeared, and I don't know how to explain. It was like a connection. Only when you meet a guru like Srila Gurudev that I can't even explain in words. And anyone that's met Srila Gurudev, any Vaishnava will have that feeling, and that is not explained in words. So that's the only time and that was apparently in reality it felt like a lifetime for me. And now I understand how that feels when the Braja Gopis are saying that one eye, when they close the eyes for that 1 second, how they are feeling in separation. I can somewhat, not that I can never imagine what the Gopis are feeling, but I can somewhat understand a drop of that now. Anyways, that's so apparently it was only 30 seconds of my association with Srila Gurudev. That's all I had. Now, many years, 5 years, 6 years, maybe 5, 6 years, I felt so misfortunate. I felt like, how unfortunate am I that Gurudev came so many times and I was never able to serve him. I was never able to get that glance, never able to hear the words that you are my darling daughter. Many years I felt like that. But I realized that no, this wasn't my misfortune, this was my fortune. That he could have left me. He could have left me completely, because he was performing, he knew he was going. He could have left me, but still he chose to keep me and take me and put me in his pocket. He chose that. And he chose that for everyone. Anyone that he took them and put them in his pocket. Whether that was someone that spent their whole entire life with him, or whether that was someone that spent a moment with him, he put us in his pocket. So when I hear the descriptions, and this is why I say, like, for me, when I hear the pastimes of Srila Gurudev, you guys may think that, oh, it's nothing, I just spent some, these are my memories with him. No, these are the memories that I hold on to enable me to understand my Srila Gurudev. So I'm feeling fortunate that I have been given such a family that has never left me, has encouraged me, has kept me with them, and keeps reminding me that Srila Gurudev is always with me. And from a young age, I've had many problems in my life, as many of us have materially had. And there was always someone looking after me, and I never knew who that was. I never understood who that was until I met Srila Gurudev. Until I understood that that person that's always been guiding me is my Srila Gurudev. So, I'm just feeling very fortunate. And this idea I was speaking about earlier, about the mountain, and getting closer to that mountain, you start to realize how high that mountain is. And over the years, I'm realizing how high that mountain is, how fortunate I am. I met with, I'm in India, as you all know at the moment, and as Didi was explaining about Braj Mandal Parikrama, I've been also going to do some Parikrama of Braj. And I've been very fortunate, actually, because Vipin Prabhu has been taking me and explaining many different things of these pastime places. He knows Braj very well. But he was explaining one thing, that in Kevar one, yeah. One time, Srila Gurudev was on Parikram, and Srila Gurudev normally, leans on someone or walks in front. But this time, Srila Gurudev ran. Srila Gurudev ran and ran into the forest, into the van of Gevarvan, which is this very dense, used to be a very dense forest, where they say that Srimati Radharani's man is. So the forest is very dense. And Gurudev ran. And then when the disciples went towards him, he sat in silence and was in tears. He saw Srimati Radharani. He saw Srimati Radharani there. It's not made up. When the words of Srimad Bhagavatam is recited, we listen to them and we think, oh yeah, okay, Sukdev Goswami speaking to Pariksha Maharaj. But the moment we realize that, oh, my Gurudev is also listening to this Bhagavatam, and we start to realize it through his eyes, then we start to realize the gravity of that place. And this Vrajdam that Srila Gurudev's given me, the association he's given me, is so immense. I'm only realizing this being out of the Dham for like half of a day now. I'm coming back to England in a couple of days' time. But I'm realizing that the moment I don't start to perform my sadhana, I can sit here and say, oh, I'm Gurudev's disciples. I am Gurudev's daughter. I know I'm not, because when I am, or when I will be, that day my sadhana will be good. That day my sadhana will be so strong that I'm able to see Srila Gurudev through the words of the Srimad Bhagavatam and through the Vani of different acharyas. I will see them as one, not different. I won't see them as my Gurudev and your Gurudev. I will see them as one. These are the things that I am learning, and I know that no matter what happens, Srila Gurudev is holding my hand. As much as I may fall, and I fall a lot, a hell of a lot, compared to many devotees, I fall a lot. Sometimes I'm angry with him, sometimes I'm happy with him, this relationship, because he's my Shri Guru, he's my father, he's my mother, he's my everything. And I just want to prove to him that I can also grow in bhakti, not for myself, but just to please him, because he is my Ishtadev. I do not know Radharani, I do not know Krishna. I want to know them. I know that they exist because Gurudev told me that they exist, and that is his Ishtadev. But for the time being, Srila Gurudev is my Ishtadev, and I just hope that I just hope and pray that he continues to guide me, provide me with the love and affection that he's always provided with me, and give me the association of Vaishnavas like you all, that I can progress in bhakti. So I pray on my birthday, because I know that all the Vaishnavas are merciful, so I'm going to use my birthday card. So I'm going to pray to you all that you bless me, that I really become a sevak of my Srila Guru Padma. And if I do, then I know that I've received the blessings of you all, and I know that I've started to please my Srila Gurudev. So on that note, I will end here. Please forgive me for my unqualification for speaking, but sending my humble obeisances, and thank you for giving me this opportunity. Vanchakalpatarupesha kripa sindhu bhevja patidanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namaha.
Yasodhari, thank you so much. I think as much as you get great inspiration from all the past times that those that met Srila Gurudev frequently, when they share, you get a lot of inspiration. We also get inspiration from the fact that you didn't meet Srila Gurudev in person, and you very much express yourself in that mood of separation and yearning, and we all aspire for that as well. And so you really hit a very sweet chord, and through your experience and your sense of connection and yearning for connection for Srila Gurudev, you cause us to continue to examine and re-examine our own relationship with Srila Gurudev. And actually, in a way, that is the inspiration of this Pushpanjali, this glorification, is that we are all inspiring each other, but we're all also helping each other examine and explore the relationship, because the relationship is of infinite dimensions and infinite potential. So when I hear someone's experience with Srila Gurudev, it awakens something that I may have forgotten, it awakens something I may not have even ever realized, or it awakens something that's already, or it enlightens something that's already awake. So there's so much color and beauty that comes from this sharing. So thank you. Happy birthday.